Good day, Pete Kane, Podcast Pete. I'm glad to be here with you. And we're going to cover a subject that's going to be real important to you generating leads and being able to establish yourself in the marketplace, in the digital marketplace, because you have to be thinking about digital. So I want you to zero in on 7114. Daniel Priestley is the person behind this. The gentleman that's in the background there is a gentleman by the name of Roger, and I don't know his last name, but he kind of came up with this. 7 hours is a significant amount of time for people to recognize you, for them to know you and trust you. So, what does that mean? That means online, and it happened to me. I went through the same cycle that he teaches out there. Daniel Priestley, put him in your Google search, listen to his podcast. He's got 4 books out there. I've listened to and I've read some of them. I've put AI summaries to them. I've listened to at least maybe 100 hours of his time, so more than 7. But I did the same thing, and I'll tell you a little story before we start. I had heard about him. It made sense. And so I basically almost got to the 7 hours. And then I had a person on my podcast. Christian was on there, and I asked him, how do you want people to reach out to you? And he said, well, I have an assessment. And all of a sudden, something went off in my brain. Dang, I've heard of this. So I did the podcast, very impressive person, incredible story. And then I took his assessment. I hadn't taken it now, but I've consumed 7 hours, more than 7 hours. And then all of a sudden, one thing clicked. It was another platform that I went on to, took it, and then immediately implemented it like within hours with our team. And now I use it. So if you go to PeteKane.me, you'll see 3 different assessments. So what I'm trying to say with the 7-11-4 is people have to consume 7 hours of your content. So if you're going to put one video out there, don't expect much. But if you're going to put enough content out there like Daniel Priestley, like Brendan Burchard, like Ed Milet, and I can go on and on, Chris Do. He puts crazy good content out there. So you consume it and you get to know and trust the person. And it happens digitally. You know, the old saying, people have to know, like, and trust you. Well, that is still true, but we're in a digital economy. We're doing things digitally. So they have to consume 7 hours of you, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a book, whether it's a YouTube video, whether it's an ebook, whether it's, let me give you some other, Instagram, whether it's an assessment, whether it's a magazine, whether different things. So they consume 7 hours. All of a sudden, the brain, and this is where Roger, whatever his last name is, and I know he has. Well, I just don't know what his last name is. But Daniel Priestley, I do know. So search him. We'll try to put a link in the show notes so you can get it, and it's free. I got my first assessment for free. I tested it out, had my team set it up, and immediately was doing it. And I was going like, man, this is cool. People get to tell you where they are. So you know that everybody's at different places in their business. And if you don't assess that, how are you going to know how to serve them? You won't. So there's a lot of significance to that 7 hours. 11. What does 11 mean? It's the Google moment of truth. 11 buying signals. I come from the digital marketing world, and it was, all of a sudden you search for something, and then that whatever that search follows you. Well, it's not by accident. It does. There's a reason it does that, because they're trying to get 11 buying signals. They're trying to get you to raise your hand and say, I'm interested. So once 11 happens, people will do something. You're finding out information. You're making buying signals, and when you're making buying signals, you're getting closer to getting that problem solved. So 11, proven concept. 7, proven concept. And the last one is 4. What does the 4 mean? 4 different platforms, 4 different medias, 4 different things, like a book, like a podcast, like an Instagram post, like a Facebook post. They got to see you in different areas. And once the 7-11-4 hits, the brain just snaps, not snaps, but just kind of triggers like, I know him. And I want you to think of this. When Steve Jobs passed away, it was like everybody lost a brother. Flowers and cards, and just because people knew him. They were tied to him through his impact, that he made on the world of iPhone and Mac and, Apple. Because when he came back to Apple, he got rid of a lot of things and he focused everybody on getting world class in 3 things, I think it was. And when he did, he made a different approach. Now it's the most valuable company in the world. So it works. So when people get to know you, they know them. They wait in line for iPhones. They wait in line for an iWatch. They wait in line for things because of the impact that he made on them. That's why when he passed away, people thought they lost a loved one. Same happens in anything. Go across the board. A musician, an actor, people that get to know a person. They get to know you so well, they feel the loss personally. And that's how the brain works. So 7-11-4. So I'm going to give you a chance to test it. And first, I want you to acknowledge Daniel Priestley. Go buy his books. Oversubscribed, the SCORE marketing book, 24 Assets, and I know I'm leaving one off, but just Google them. 4 books that he had. Yeah, he probably has more, but I've read 4. Okay, so take the assessment, see what his assessment does. There we go. Okay, so take his assessment, go to petekane.me. You're going to have to, I think as of today, you're going to have to select which avatar serves you best. Entrepreneurs that want to grow and serve their business, grow and scale their business, nonprofits who want to grow and scale their business for greater impact on their community, and corporate professionals that want to transition to a more entrepreneurial mindset or environment of freedom. And it could be people retiring too, because we're going to see major layoffs coming. It's coming. So if you haven't really been tied into what's happening with AI, you should. And you can go to this masterclass free. I don't even ask for you for your name, your email. Just go experience it. Each one of them is scalable. Number 9 is a free course on AI. And if you're not implementing AI in your business, you're missing an opportunity. That train is out of the station. You either jump on the train and ride it like a wave, or you're going to be wondering what happened, and you don't want to be in that category. So thank you so much. Share this with somebody that you think wants to, 1, understand 7-11-4. That's the concept of the digital footprint. We're in a digital world now. Just look, we're digital currency, digital this, digital that. It's all digital. So search my name, Pete Kane. Put the word podcast. I don't put a middle initial on my name. There's a few Pete Kanes out there, but if you put the word podcast or search Podcast Pete, you'll see a fair amount of content out there. And then you can consume it, see if this serves you. And if it does, then you'll be able to understand how to grow and scale your business by 10x, because you better be in that kind of mindset as we get on this train of opportunity. Thank you so much. Share this with somebody you think could benefit. and go out and buy Daniel Priestley's books. Listen to his podcast. Understand 7-11-4. 7-11-4. Once you understand that, it'll change your mindset to be able to make an impact on your business and on your life. Appreciate you.